Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Spiritually Empowered. You belong here if you identify as someone who is here to imprint the world with your unique medicine, with your innate gifts. If you are ready to uncover your spiritual powers, remember how to walk embodied in these powers on this planet today, then this show is for you. I welcome you here and thank you for pressing play today. I'm your host, Ashley Coleman, the owner and founder of Emerald Healing Arts. I am literally on this planet to empower souls like you to heal themselves and live their mission because the world needs it. Thank you so much for being here, and remember to share this episode if it speaks to you, and let's do this. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Spiritually Empowered. I'm so happy that you joined me today, wherever you are in your life. How about we just take a deep breath together and letting it go. I want to invite you and me both to take off some heart armor. Why do we build a heart armor? Because we have forgotten that all of us, every single part of ourselves, is perfectly whole. All of our imperfections are human, our joy, all of our emotions are worthy of love. And when we realize that all of us is worthy of love, we come out. We step out, we take off our armor, we open to life, we receive life, we breathe into life, we give our gifts to life, and we take in life. We receive. So a little update. I just finished an incredible weekend teaching Reiki to 11 souls. I led Reiki 1 on Saturday and Reiki 2 on Sunday, and I'm so proud of all of us for being on this journey. All of the beautiful Reiki participants and you who are listening today, I'm so proud of us for being on this soul growth journey. If you're listening, then I know that you are someone who's not satisfied with the status quo. You're curious. You want to know what's in the dark. You want to ascend through your obstacles. You want to turn your pain into power. And that's why you're here, I believe. That's one of the reasons why you're here. So you belong here. We're of the same soul family essence, I feel. So a little update before I share with you an essay that I typed out today that is really meaningful for me, and I want to speak it to you. I want to share it with you. But before that, I just wanted to share, through my weekend, these beautiful Reiki initiations, I had my own initiation. An initiation is a passage through. It's something that you're challenged by, usually. It's something that brings you a challenge that triggers you, and it's an opportunity to level up. So through my last week preparing for Reiki training, I got all these unexpected things happen. So my partner's house cleaner, who was going to clean the whole house, canceled the day before the training. And I'm like, look, my love, I literally do not have it in me to add cleaning the house to my to-do list today. So help. And that was an initiation because I had to let go and surrender. I had to trust. And it was not comfortable, but I did. It was not easy, but I did. And just many other unexpected things happened throughout the weekend that called me forwards and called me up. Initiated me into more power, more trust, more love, all of that. And what I learned was that it was more beautiful than I ever could have imagined the weekend. Once I let go of control, once I took a deep breath, and it wasn't just once, it was throughout the prep. I was invited to take a deep breath and let go of control, release the spirit of control from my body, and just have faith and just show up and do my part. because we literally do not have as much control as we think we do. There are invisible forces at play. So anywho, after level 2 on Sunday, I had a sore throat, as you might imagine, from teaching for all those hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. times 2, Saturday and Sunday. And I had a sore throat, and I woke up on Monday morning. I was like, oh, I'm not feeling good. And I just slept until 2, and now it's Wednesday, and I'm still, recovering and filling my cup. And it's interesting because sometimes when I don't feel well, I'm like, oh, I just don't feel well. But this time I was like, I know that this is an upgrade. I know that this is an energetic detox. The body is the last place where we release and dump energy that we don't need. It comes through the aura. It comes through the energy, through the emotions, through the mind, and then it releases. Think about it. The body is the densest part of who we are. And so when something is passing through the body, consider it on its way out. And it's like I had this knowing, I'm like, these are ascension symptoms. This is a soul upgrade on the level of my physicality. Think about it like this. So many years ago, I did my first juice cleanse. And I drank all this juice for 3 or 4 days, and I was so sick after. I was ill for a week. My body was detoxing. Right? So it's if you feel bad, if your body feels bad, it doesn't mean that something is off or wrong. Many times, especially right now in these times, it means that we're passing through something. We're literally passing something from our system. Whether it's rushing thoughts or negative, painful emotions or, physical symptoms, think of it like this. You're passing these through. Invite them to flow through you so they don't get stuck and become a story that, weighs us down. And so I'm allowing this to pass through me. And also, I asked myself, what's the blessing of this? What's the blessing of this little sore throat? What's the blessing of all of this, right? Because there's always a hidden place of beauty. That's the yin and the yang. That's the light and the dark. That is that dual essence of this world, that there's beauty in the pain and there's pain in the beauty, right? And that's a very black and white way to put it, but it's true. There's both. You love so deeply that it kind of hurts. You hurt so much that it kind of feels good. That's one way to think about this union of opposites that are necessary. To experience good, we have to know what bad is. To experience pain, we have to know what joy is. Through these contrasting energies, we know ourselves. We find our truth. By dating all these people who have this quality, we're like, damn, I don't want that quality. So not knowing creates knowing. It's like light and dark, pain and joy, these things coexist. And I'm going to read this essay to you now because it's really going to explain this in a deeper way. So just sit back and receive, my love. Here we go. Throughout my years of studying and practicing a variety of ancient and modern spiritual traditions, I have come across a common theme that could be exactly what we need as a form of medicine to finally end our internal mental frustrations and battles. The common theme is the realization of our unified self, the true self, the aspect of us that is innately whole and all-knowing. To dive deeper into this life-changing understanding, I would love to begin with an explanation of the differences between the words ego, soul, and spirit. Our ego is our human spacesuit. It is our human technology that allows us to journey through this human world. The ego perceives all things as separate. It sees that you are separate from me. It sees that the couch is separate from the chair. And here's the kicker. The ego likes and desperately tries to cling to the familiar. Why? Because imagine this. Think of the ego as the human whose one job is to survive. And this human in ancient times knows that if it goes to this one valley at the exact same hour on the exact same day, it will be safe to retrieve food for its family. In other words, if the ego knows that doing the same thing again and again is safe, it will resist any change. Because the ego thrives on familiarity. Doing the same things again and again feels safe and familiar. It literally thinks that if it changes things up, it could die. But to the deeper parts of us who thrive on change and evolution, well, the ego can't be the one in charge if we are going to live out our unique missions on this planet. The ego is that loud, frantic voice in your head that if you go to change one thing about your routine, it will yell in your ear, something terrible will happen. Simply put, the ego is all about survival. The problem that many souls today experience is that they are living their lives from the ego and not from their soul or spirit, meaning they are literally obsessed with their own comfort zones. So, they may wake up on their deathbeds and wish they had thrown caution to the wind and stepped out of their boxes to feel the sun on their wings. The soul. The soul is the invisible part of you that carries all of your history from all of your lifetimes within it. It chooses the parents that will be most helpful for your unique soul lessons that you came to Earth to learn. It creates the blueprint of your physical body for each of your lives. Think of the soul as your invisible story keeper. It goes on after the body dies. It travels through time and space and reunites with the divine universe. Each soul is different. Each soul is unique. When we do deep healing work, we actually change the karmic imprints inside of the soul. When we do deep healing work, we actually change the karmic imprints inside of the soul, and therefore alter our destiny. So instead of replaying old karmic wounds and repetitive stories again and again, we instead liberate ourselves from our familiar past and go on to live epic, new, evolved, and freeing lives. That's the goal, right? Now, the spirit. We each have the same spirit. We have different egos and different souls, yet we share the exact same spirit. This is the essence of who we truly are, beyond all of our masks and deeply held individual identities. The spirit is one. It's God, the divine, universe, Brahman, source, goddess. We can't even name it because when we do, we limit it and therefore ourselves. Because, my love, the thread of similarity in all of the traditions that I've had the honor of studying is, we are the spirit. The spirit is who we are beyond it all. Again, we can't even comprehend this at the level of mind because mind separates and divides. The spirit is one. It's all inclusive. Nothing is not of it. You can think of spirit as the undivided mind, the undivided self. And the goal of all of the spiritual traditions that I've explored is to wake up to spirit. And by doing so, wake up to our innate wholeness. Now, this awakening must be experiential. It cannot be just described. This level of awakening has to be felt inside the body. So each cell upgrades and ascends out of its illusion of separation and reunites with its own totality. I know, mind-blowing, right? So how the hell can we unite with our own totality and stop being so fragmented and stuck in suffering and overthinking? That is the question, my friend. My thoughts are this. We have to go on a journey of actually being willing to bask in every single part of ourselves. The shadow and the light, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the pain and the joy, and everything in between. We cannot hide from anything within ourselves. If we want to awaken in this lifetime, we must begin to remember ourselves as already whole. That means we include the body, the ego, the mind, the suffering, the sadness, the memories, the pain, the desires, the gifts, the bliss, the pleasure, the lack, the abundance, all of it. This is the path of Tantra and the path of yoga. It's to weave together all fractals of the self and end up in a state of total union where we are no longer craving, but instead we are magnetic. Imagine feeling your wholeness at the level of your mind, body, soul. Imagine ceasing to crave by remembering who you are. Imagine journeying so deep into yourself and falling in love with every part of yourself so as to remember that it all, you all, are worthy of love. I can't tell you how to get to this place, but what I can do is open a sacred container for you to do this life-changing work yourself. And that's exactly what I'm offering in my upcoming masterclass, Inner Liberation. Thursday, September 1st at 6 p.m. EST. Yes, the replay will be available. I love you so much, all of you. Ashley. Wow, that makes me super, super turned on. This is like my lifetime's obsession into one essay. So, the exchange for this 2-hour soul liberating experience is just $44, plus you'll also get 2 very special bonuses to help you bring this much needed work into your daily life. The way that we change is through practice. It's not by going to a seminar and just letting it all go and going back to our habits. The key is to integrate, to drip feed the new knowledge, or the old knowledge in this case, into our daily routines. That, my friend, is how we will change. That is the anatomy of change. It's repetition. Right? Neuroscience says if you learn something new, or you remember something old in this case, your brain changes. Your cells literally upgrade. If you want to keep the new changes, you have to repeat the information. So I've taken care of that step for you. I'm giving you 2 bonuses. One is a PDF self-study journal that you can repeat to get you in touch with this aspect of yourself and to help you move through the other layers, right? The mind layer, the emotional layer, all that good stuff. And the other one is a guided meditation that you can literally hit play and remember this part of yourself, this whole you. All inclusive. If I could teach one thing in my entire lifetime, this would be it, because all of this saved my life. Love consumes everything. If we want to change something inside of ourselves, we must first accept it. We must first welcome it and realize the message in it, the blessing in it. And that is how I've moved on from my codependent cycles in relationships to now being in a relationship with my soulmate. That's how I moved on from a 7-year addiction to pot. That's how I moved on from food and body shame and overeating cycles, which literally I felt like would never end, but I secretly knew they would. That's how I've alchemized every pattern. That's how I've become magnetic to attract clients and fill up my programs and sell out my trainings, is through this exact practice. And again, I can't show you how, but I can help you create it for yourself. And that's the key. So I invite you to join me, and or maybe you took from this podcast what you needed, what you wanted. If your soul is secretly asking, go further. Now's your time. Step deeper into this work. Then the door is open. You can find the link by going to emeraldhealingarts.net, or I'll also have it in the show notes here. I love you so much in all aspects of yourself, and I hold that same unconditional love to myself, and that is my greatest lesson, is to love all of me as I am, human and divine. I love you so much. Let me know your thoughts on this podcast and on that essay, and see you next time. I truly hope this podcast episode lifted your spirits and was exactly what you needed on your path today. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.